Thank you for tuning in to the Survivor Not By Chance podcast. We discuss survivor stories from all walks of life with guests who have turned their traumatic experiences into inspirational stories. The show is for entertainment purposes only. We do not claim to be medical professionals, nor do we give medical advice. Let's get started. Come on in and enjoy the show.
Let's meet Asia Carroll, host of Survivor Not By Chance podcast. Asia is the author of The Pressures of Becoming a Diamond. She is a life coach here to help you through life's issues. Asia is also a psychic medium. Let her dive into your future. Contact Asia at www.survivornotbychance.com.
Welcome to Survivor Not By Chance podcast. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm super excited for our special guest. We have Ruthy. She will be here with us in a moment. And so I just want to say, if you have not already, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Survivor Not By Chance for those who are on Facebook, Twitter, and my other platforms I'm streaming to. Please like and subscribe Survivor Not By Chance podcast, where we speak about survival stories. We give details on how people can just be inspired and learn to grow and develop themselves from traumatic experiences. All the way from the United Kingdom, we have Ruthy. She is the CEO of Speak Out, and we're so excited to have her here with us today. Ruthy is a advocate for people who have experienced sexual assault. She is also an advocate for domestic violence, as well as childhood trauma, as well as different types of abuse. So we're so excited. Ruthy, you're here at 1 a.m. UK time. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege to be here, actually.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So Ruthy and I, we actually met on Instagram. And so it's like, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you're going to have so many things in common. And so
That's right.
Ruthy and I, we really have so much in common in regards to our advocacy, fighting for the rights of survivors. And it is something that is so essential. There are so many people who are in domestic violence situations. And so we do have some domestic violence hotlines available for you in the United States as well as the UK. And we will show those numbers throughout. So the show, in case anyone is involved in a domestic violence situation, we will provide the hotlines for you. So
That's
Ruthy,
right.
tell us about yourself.
Hey, Survivor Back Chance. I just want to say a big thank you for having me tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me on your platform. It's a big privilege to be here. And I'm happy to be here because we're going to talk about breaking the silence of abuse, which is amazing. Or we're going to talk about domestic violence to help other people. So basically, I'm Ruthy, and sorry, I'm just give me a second.
Sure.
So I'm Ruthy. I'm a mom of two. I'm married. And can you still see me, please?
Yes, we
So
can
I'm
see.
Ruthy. Okay, so I'm Ruthy. I'm a mom of two. I'm married to a wonderful man. I'm a businesswoman. I have business online. I've been featured on BBC magazine Truth, because of Speak Out. In uni, I was selected because of Speak Out. They heard my story. I pitched to them, and they featured us on BBC. So that's amazing. And we have won some awards for Speak Out. That's what I do. And I'm a minister, so I do things in church, really. That's what I do. And I'm an advocate, really. I do good for the community. I love helping people. I advocate, and I stand for the rights of the people here, really. Yes.
Yes, and I'm so honored to have you, and I'm grateful that you even accepted the invitation to come on the show. You've done some amazing things being on BBC. You've received awards for speaking out in Ghana. You've received awards all over this world. And it's such
Thank
an honor to
you.
have you here. So we
Thank you so much.
absolutely. So we're going to get started, and we're just going to speak about how we each individually decided to get involved with advocating for domestic violence. We're going to
Yeah,
give you all some tips and tools in case you know someone in a domestic violence situation, or in case you yourself may be involved in a domestic violence
yeah,
situation. And we will also explain what domestic violence is. Because there are some stereotypes of domestic violence that everyone may not know what it actually
that's
is.
right.
So, Ruthie,
Yeah.
how did you get started?
So I get started before I started advocating. It wasn't. I didn't call it domestic violence. I was more advocating it for sexual abuse, but which is also part of domestic violence. I started this. I went on this mission. I call because my personal story. When I was little, at the age of 12, somebody in my family that I look up to so much, sexually, let me say, assaulted me. He wanted to sleep with me. He did not succeed, but he did touch me in a way that were not right. So it affected me. I didn't realize because I was young, but then when I was growing up, I begin to feel depressed and I fall into, I fall into depression and other things. So, fast forward when I was growing up, I went through healing and everything. And in 2017, I was at home and I felt, I would say, because I'm a believer, I would say the Lord told me to go live and do, I felt like a voice, go live and talk about your story.
Your microphone, can you move it a little bit? Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So I felt 2017, I felt like I felt I had it. Go live and share your story. And I was like, I was feeling funny, like, why should I go and share my story?
Mm,
And I was at home with my little girl, my firstborn. She was just about a year. No one was at home. I was alone. Um, and I was like, I'm not gonna go. But then I heard it again, go and share your story.
mm,
So then I went online, and trust me, that day when I went online to share my story, I had about 24,000 people watching. Yes. So that means that I wasn't hearing, there was something telling me to go. And somebody had to hear me share my story for them to come out of what they were going through. So after, I was shocked. I was like, even after the live, I went on Google and I typed what is 24,000 because I was shocked by the amount of people that were watching. So after I finished the live, a lot of people called me, texted me, thank you for sharing your story. I'm so sorry you went through this. I never knew you went through this. Thank you for sharing. Now I know that I can also come out of what I'm going through. I'll be able to. So that is when Speak Out was born. That is when I it was born for me. I knew that, okay, this is not all about me. This is not even about myself. This is about people out there that need somebody to voice up, need somebody to stand up for them. So now you have to put your shame aside, you have to put your fears aside, you have to put whatever you think, okay, I can't do this because I'm shy that people are gonna laugh at me. So that's when I took on the mantle to speak up. Yes.
yes, I love it. I'm so grateful you did that. Um,
Thank you.
we have similar stories. I actually was born as a result of sexual assault. And
Mm,
when I first found out about it, I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I did not want to tell anyone. I was hurt. I was devastated. I didn't know how to look and view myself as an
yeah.
individual. I didn't know if I was meant to be here. I questioned who I was. I questioned whether my life had purpose and meaning. And it took me a while to get adjusted to it. And I didn't find out until I was 30 years old. And,
Mm,
when I found out, it was just heartbreaking, you know. But then I found my purpose, and I know this is my purpose. This is my calling to help others who have been in those similar situations. I've
that's
also been
right.
touched inappropriately when I was a child. And
Mm,
I thought it was my fault. I thought I provoked it. I thought I did something to cause it to happen to me. In actuality, it was nothing that I could have done differently to make it not be that way. But I looked
that's
at it
right.
as an inspiration to help other people. And so that's when I started writing my book, The Pressures of Becoming a Diamond, to share my
Yeah.
story to the world. And it's touched so many people. And so similar
Mm,
to you, Ruthie, is just like, we may be ashamed of things that's happened to us. We may think
yeah.
that what's happened to us is something that's so horrific that no one
Yeah.
will understand, or no one will want
Yeah.
to be bothered with us, or no one will love us. But that's not true.
Yeah.
That's a false narrative. And so we want to
That's right.
break that narrative and be sure that people understand that we are moving forward in inspiration to help people heal.
That's right. That's right. That's right. 100%. I think your story is so powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah, your story is powerful. When I read, because you've been featured on what's that?
I can
The
hear you, Ruthie.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
Yeah.
me now?
Mhm.
Okay. I saw where you've been featured on the I read the title of you being a result of sexual assault. I was like, oh my god. I knew that I hosted you on speaker, but I don't remember that part. So when I read it today, I was like, wow, you're a blessing. You are really a blessing, really.
Thank you.
Continue doing what you're doing. Amazing, really. Amazing.
Thank you.
Bless you.
So I didn't share initially that I was born as a result of sexual assault
Yeah.
because I was not ready to.
Mm,
I was not ready to receive from others because I was still in the healing process. Um,
okay.
I wrote it in my book and I shared some glimpses of it in my book. But when I just was featured in a couple of articles recently with, I think it's Hustle Weekly, Business Shark Magazine, Business New York Business Now, and a
Yeah.
couple other articles, I just was open. I no longer want to hide my pain that I've
Yeah.
experienced. And I've also done some healing during this time
Yeah.
span. So it doesn't hurt as much. Now I'm able to share to help others heal.
Yes. Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. Well done for that.
So now let's get into the work that you're currently doing with
Yeah.
individuals um, in the UK and different parts of the diaspora in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the UK, I've done couple of online. I still do it every Friday. When we have the chance, I do online programs to educate the community about sexual abuse, the effects of abuse, and how people can heal themselves, how they can be healed, how they can come out of their pain, how we can connect them with counselors, therapies, and all that. And sometimes we do also outing. We do, like, we've done marching in the park, so people came. We did some marching in the park, because going to the park is good. I believe the nature is good for our mental health.
Mhm.
So we went with the people to the park. We spoke about, some of them shared their story. We did some games like the I am game. So I am powerful, I am strong. We did all that, and we've done so much programs online, unveiling the beauty, so teaching people how to make up themselves, how to bring out the beauty out. We've done healing programs online, and also because of the pandemic, it was good for us to really do programs. So we've done, this is what we've been doing. And also in the diaspora in Africa, in Ghana specifically, we've done projects in Sierra Leone, we've done projects in Ghana. Normally when we do projects, we do online sections. We have people joining from all over the world. So we have people joining from South Africa, Ghana, many places. But we've done the places that we've gone to do the nation physically. We've gone to Sierra Leone and we've done Ghana. We've gone to some villages to help widows, because some widows in some communities, they've been neglected, or they've been told it's your fault that your husband is dead. So we go there to help them. We've helped some children, we've helped people that have been through sexual abuse and so forth. So we give them accommodation, we try to give them accommodation or give them counseling, or we listen to their stories and help them to come out of it. We've had people coming to us, they've never been through abuse, but they kind of like, okay, this is my life, I don't have anything doing, I don't have a job, this is what I'm going through. So what we're planning to do with those people is to give them some small, kind of like small money, and help them to start something. And even some of the young girls, if you go there, you see now, you see that many young girls out there, because of poverty or whatever, they go through abuse because they're not having a job, they don't go to school, they go through sexual abuse and domestic violence because they're depending on someone. So now the project that we're going to do is also look for those young girls, give them, teach them employment, and help them to start something small, which can help them not to go and fall into the hand of the wrong person, really. Yes. I just wanted to say my website is www.speakoutout.com, because I see only speak out here. So please, if you can. Sorry if
Yes,
I'm
I'm
telling you.
sorry
Yes.
about that. We'll correct that
It's all
right.
right. It's all right.
Thank you.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so Ruthie, if you can try to take your headphones off and just hold the phone up, that may make it a little bit clearer. Sometimes the
Okay.
connect, yes, sometimes there we go. We got it right now. Thank you. Sometimes the connections can be a little bit off. And I just
Okay.
want to be sure that everyone hears you well because what you're saying is valuable information.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me good now?
Yes. So
Okay.
what we're going to do is
Thank you.
we're going to take a short commercial break.
Okay.
Ruthie, take your headphones off and we'll just use your phone and see how that works. And we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Need a promo? Ready to grow your business? Well, advertise and grow your business with Survivor Not by Chance. We even create content for you. Email us at survivornotbychance@gmail.com. Are you in?
All right, we're back. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, we hear you now, Ruthie. Okay, so I just want to give some information about what domestic violence is. There are so many stereotypes in regards to what domestic violence actually is versus myths about domestic violence. Not everyone knows that domestic violence is not just a physical assault that happens to someone. Domestic violence is also emotional and verbal abuse. So there are many children who are in domestic violence situations. For example, some parents don't agree with the way a child may decide to live their life. And as a result, they may habitually say things over and over and over and over again to that child and call them different things and say different things to them. Believe it or not, that is domestic violence. There are situations where children are witnessing domestic violence. So if a child is in a home and they are witnessing domestic violence where someone is saying, someone is abusing their parents, or someone is abusing a sibling, or someone is abusing someone else of another family member or a friend. that is domestic violence. And it's so many children who are in these situations where they are witnessing domestic violence and they're carrying it over into their adulthood. And when I was a child, I thought domestic violence was just abuse that was physical. I had no idea about narcissistic abuse. I had
Mhm.
no idea about what it does to the psyche and
That-
how it changes the person dynamic and how they think about themselves.
yeah,
Anytime someone is belittled, that is a part of domestic violence. So, Ruthie, if you can share some information about that, the emotional part.
yeah. Okay. So what I have here is I took down domestic violence, your partner blame you for abuse or argument. So, it's the emotional part. Accuse you of flirting or having affairs, tell you what to wear, where to go, you can't meet family members, control your money. So he's not beating you. It's not physical, but it's emotional. He's trying to dominate your emotions, to control you and to belittle you. So I have these things down. Sexual abuse, maybe he touches you where it's not right, forces you to have sex, yeah, pressure you to do certain things, sexual things that you don't want to do. So these are the things that I have.
Yeah, that's awesome because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people believe, oh, well, I'm married, oh, I'm in a relationship. It's not abuse, it's not sexual assault because I'm in a relationship. My mom was in a relationship with my biological father when the assault happened. And so she did not know it was assault until I brought it to her attention. Because and I just need to be clear. I
Mm-hmm.
need us to understand
Yeah.
when someone says no, when
No,
someone is not comfortable with a certain experience, that is leading to sexual assault if you continue. If someone says, I don't want to, I'm not sure, maybe we should not, that is leading towards sexual assault if you continue without their permission.
that's
Inappropriate touching is sexual assault.
100%. 100%. I've got these things down. And then we go to the tips and tools.
Yes.
I'm gonna talk about, I have this book in here, learning to nurture yourself.
Mm.
About how to love yourself, because maybe you were not showed that love when you were little, and it's good that you begin to love yourself. Okay, and I'm gonna give some tips of how to care for yourself, so you can, the things that I'm gonna do is, I don't know if I should do this. Is I
Go
don't know.
ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay, okay. Then I will do that. I will do that. Okay. So I would tell them, I would take them into some steps of when I was a child, I nurtured myself by, you write those things down. Name the people that you would like to ask how they nurture themselves, how they
Mm.
love themselves. So you write those people's name down and you can go to them and ask them, how do you take care of yourself? How do you maintain your lifestyle and stuff like that? Are we on? Are we back?
Yes, you are. She's just switching the screens. You're good, Queen. Keep going.
Okay. So those are the things that I'm gonna give few points really, and I'm gonna talk about how to nurture yourself, which is the tools that I'm gonna give. Then after we go to narcissistic abuse, I think you asked for that. I'll give the definition of that, and then yeah, that's it really. I don't know. Then if you have any other questions, you can ask, and yeah.
Go ahead. Take it away.
All right. Just give me a few seconds. Let me share the broadcast quickly on my WhatsApp.
Sure. Go ahead. No worries.
Thank you
All
very much.
right. So, primarily, what a lot of people need to understand is that sexual assault can happen in any situation. It can happen with friends, it can happen with strangers, it can happen with a partner, it can happen with family members, it can happen in any space. It can happen with adults that are supposed to take care of children, like babysitters. It can
Yeah,
happen in the school district. So it's very important for parents to have conversations with your children about sexual assault. Because if you're not preparing your children, you're putting them in a situation where they can be exposed to domestic violence as well as sexual assault, and they may not even realize it. So it's very important. And Ruthie is bringing up some great topics in regards to taking care of yourself and being sure that you understand how to nurture yourself. Come
that's
on back, Ruthie. We're ready for you.
okay. So, hello everyone. I'm gonna give tips on domestic violence. What's domestic violence? Domestic violence, it includes physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. It can be in couple relationship or between family members. So I'm gonna repeat it. Domestic violence, it includes physical, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, between couples or family members. So I don't want people to think that domestic violence is only when somebody punches you, you see scars in your face. They can be, you may not have scars on your body, but you have scars inside, and that is painful, so much painful. Even I think more painful than the outside, because when you don't deal with it, because when you have scars, maybe you may deal with it, but when you have scars inside, that will break you. It may break you for life, and it will take time for you to heal from that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the domestic violence, and it can happen to anyone. So do not think you are, it may not happen to you because you are special. Listen, it can happen to everybody. You may be a doctor, it can happen to you. You may be a lawyer, a student, a child, it can happen to you. Many people, as we were saying before, they went through domestic violence when they were little, and they didn't know. And you went through trauma, and now you've grown up, and things are happening in your life, and you still don't know that it's because of what you went through. So you have to deal with those traumas, you have to deal with those things. Okay, so the signs and abuse, that your partner, maybe for example, these are the signs of you going through domestic violence. When your partner belittle you or pull you down, look down on you or pull you down. He's not touching you, but he's abusing you emotionally. Okay, he blames you for the abuse or argument you go through, the things that happen. He will blame you instead of blaming himself. He's the fault. He will tell you that is your fault. You made this happen, accusing you for what happened. Okay, isolate you from families and friends. Isolate you from family and friends. Accuse you of flirting or having affairs with other people, things that you don't do, but he this partner is abusing you, making sure that you feel bad about yourself, really. Okay, tell you what to wear, who to see, and where to go, and even what to think, guys. What to think. You may think, oh yeah, they can tell you what to think.
That's a great tip right there,
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Ruthie, but I just want to reiterate this
yeah.
here. A lot of people do not realize when someone is controlling, keyword controlling, you may not think that you're being controlled, but
Mm-hmm.
when someone is telling you, you look fat in that,
Yeah,
you should not wear that.
that's right.
I don't like the way this looks on you because you look horrible. That
Mm-hmm.
is domestic violence. That is domestic violence abuse,
That's
and it needs to be dealt with.
100%. And even when they tell you what to think, when you're trying to say something, they will tell you, no, what you're saying is wrong. No, you can't say that. And you think that happens to only children. No, there are some grown up women out there. I'm talking about women, it may be men as well, but women out there that being controlled. They will tell you, no, what to think. And you'll be surprised, trust me. Your mind will change. You don't even think on your own anymore. They think for you. They tell you what to do. They tell you what to wear. They control your money.
That's
Or
a key one too.
That's right. They control your money, your account, the money that comes in. They don't give you enough to buy food or other essential things. They don't give you money. And I've heard somebody told me this, that they didn't even have underwears.
Yeah.
Underwear, or they couldn't even buy underwears because they were being controlled. Their money, they were working. So don't think when some people will be like, I work, I control my account. No, this
Mm-mm.
abuse, a domestic violence is your partner is controlling your account. Every single money that comes in, you work, but they give you what to put on yourself, what to buy. They tell you what to buy. This month you can't buy anything, you can't take money out, this and that. So they control your money and they don't give you enough to even take care of yourself.
Yes, I agree. I know plenty of people who've been in those situations, and that isolation, the controlling with the thought process and then controlling with the finances. And we have some comments that are coming in that are amazing, stating that, they isolate, and that's part of narcissistic abuse.
That's right.
Narcissistic abuse is a cycle. There's something called love bombing. And so, what they do is when they first meet you,
Oh,
they are the sweetest, most loving, caring, kind, chivalrous person. Now, I want to be clear, this does not just happen to women. This
no,
happens to men as well. I know men who have been in domestic violence relationships and
yeah,
marriages,
yeah,
and they don't want to leave because they're so conditioned and so controlled. And it is so sad.
yeah. So this happens to everybody. Men and women do go through domestic violence. Some men are being controlled and being bullied in their relationship. And you don't know whether you should call it love or whatever, but they are entangled, yeah, in this relationship, and they can't free themselves, and they are being abused. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the physical abuse. They slap you, hit you, punch you, push you, bite you, kick you, burn you, choke you, or hold you down, throw things at you.
I want to add something in there as well. And if someone is in your face and
Yes,
they punch a wall, like right in front of you, that is domestic violence.
yeah,
If they throw something at you and they miss, that is still domestic
yeah.
violence.
They missed it. Imagine if they didn't miss it, it would have come to you. So all they go and deal with their issue, they have to deal with themselves. That is, you said the right thing. They punch the wall. When you see those signs, you need to be careful, because now he's punching the wall. By the time he doesn't punch the wall, it's coming to your face or coming to somewhere, some part of your body. Okay. Then we have the sexual abuse side, which is they touch you in a way you do not want to be touched, or they hurt you during sex. They hurt you to gain pleasure. That is domestic violence. Okay. They pressure you to have sex. They force you to have sex. Whether you are married, you are in that relationship, and they are forcing you to have sex. You don't want to do it, but they are forcing you. That is domestic violence. Makes unwanted sex demands. It's your partner. That doesn't mean that they should force you to do certain things or force you to do what you don't want. You don't want it. My no is no. Because after they force you to do it, you finish and you start crying because you feel, when you start crying, it means that you were abused. You didn't want it, but they forced you and you couldn't say no. So that is domestic violence. You
And
want
we
to?
have a comment that's here. It says, it is okay to say no. It
Yes,
is okay to say no. I don't care who the person is. Your no is no, and you should stand on it. If you feel that someone's not respecting your no,
that's
you
right.
need to find a way to get out of the situation.
Yeah,
There are hotlines. And we're flashing the hotlines across the screen for
Yeah.
the United States and for the UK. If you are listening to this live or this stream and this playback on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on whatever platform you're watching it on, there are hotlines in every country. This is not exclusive to United States and the United Kingdom. There are hotlines everywhere. It's just that we know these are the two countries we're streaming in right now. But you can just type in Google or any type of search engine, domestic violence hotline, and then put your country, and automatically the phone number will come up for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to look for help when you're going through domestic violence. There are many people out there that keep protecting their abuser, keep saying, oh, it's fine, it's gonna change, it's fine. No, until you die, you don't want to see that happen. You don't want a scar to become so much that you cannot bear anymore and you will commit suicide. Or maybe there is a child there. Let me say this, you trying to protect that person, protect that marriage, you are killing a child, because it's going to be a repeated cycle. That child will grow and repeat the same thing and will get into trouble. Their life is messed up because you were trying to protect your marriage, a marriage that is not even working, because you're being beaten every day. You're being punched every day. You're being verbally abused, and there is a child there, an innocent being there, listening to every single thing, seeing everything that is happening. It's not healthy, especially when there are children around. Please.
I agree. I totally agree. I am a survivor of domestic violence growing up as a child. And when I became an adult and I had relationships, I
Mm,
did not know what a healthy relationship looked like
mm, mm, mm.
because I did not
Yeah,
know the signs for domestic violence. And that's why I advocate now,
that's right.
because I was so
Used to.
yeah, I was so used to the chaos and the toxicity that I did not know the signs of domestic violence. I literally became abusive myself in ways verbally because I did not know. And I had to teach myself that that's abuse. What you're doing is not right. What your partner's doing to you is not right. What your family and friends are telling you, this is not right. And people mistake domestic violence because they see that, they have a great relationship in public, and the most important thing is abusers are not abusers in public.
No.
Okay. They are not abusers publicly. So because they're not publicly abusers, people do not believe survivors.
Yeah, it's true. Oh my. They are very nice in public. I know an abuser that this is a family member. When he goes out, he makes sure he give money to everybody. He gives money to everybody. So when you see a person doing that, will you ever think that at home he is bad with his family? No. You would think he's a good man, because he takes care of the people outside. Outside is a friend to everyone, smiling to everyone, shopping for other people. But at home, he doesn't even shop for his family.
Mm-hmm. I've been a witness to that in so many different relationships. I know so many different dynamics from growing up as a child to an adult. I see not just women, but I see men in relationships with each other, even same sex couples in relationships that are toxic, and they're going at each other all day. They may not physically touch each other, but they're going at each other, calling each other out of their name, saying different things to each other that are just horrific.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Verbal abuse, horrible. And I don't know how people can stay together like that. I just don't know. But I just
It's
don't.
it's that cycle of abuse, because when a lot of people who are abusers, they look for people who have been abused.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you have been abused, I would be careful and cautious who you share that information with. If you're currently dating, if
Mm,
you're currently looking for a partner, if you're currently in friendships, be careful, because some friendships can be, and in the United States, I know different countries are, every country is different, but here in the United States, if you're in an altercation with a friend,
mm,
someone you know, and it's a physical altercation, a verbal altercation, it is considered domestic violence,
yeah,
because you have a intimate relationship with this person.
right, 100%. Yes.
So there are friendships that you have to be aware of
Yeah,
that may have domestic violence involved in it. And if you have a friend who is calling you out your name, who is saying derogatory things to you, you're experiencing domestic violence.
that's right. You need to quickly know what to do to move away, protect yourself, because
Absolutely.
words are powerful. If somebody is cursing you all the time, eventually you'll become what they're saying.
Yes, our subconscious mind stores information.
Right.
So, for example, people say all the time, be careful what you watch before you go to sleep.
That
Or don't leave the TV on while you're sleeping, because your subconscious mind is
yes.
still going in
eh,
the background. And so, what you constantly hear is what you're going to eventually believe about yourself.
100%. That's correct.
And that's why it's very important, like Ruthie said, to reaffirm yourself, take care of yourself, nurture yourself.
That's
So, we're going to give some tips now on what we can do to take care of yourself. If you've ever been in any of these situations, you have to be very attentive to yourself, even more so.
yep.
You
Yep.
have to pay attention to your mood swings. You have to pay attention to your triggers. You have to pay attention to what's happening in your life to be sure that you're not mimicking what the abuser put on you to yourself.
That's
Because many survivors, because they've been abused and conditioned for so long, they believe what their abusers told them.
yeah.
So it's like when you have a small child and you're teaching them the ABCs
Yeah.
and you're saying it over and over and over again. Eventually, the child is singing the ABCs without you
Yeah.
even knowing it. It's not it's subconsciously going through their mind. The
100%.
same goes for abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So I'm gonna give some tips. First of all, I just want you to know that if doing exercise is good for the mental health. So because there is I wrote it down last time, there is an hormone that is called endorphins, that when you do exercise, it's an hormone that produces, let me say, pleasure and happiness. And your mental health is very important, especially when you're being through domestic violence, and sometimes you may be depressed or go through depression or whatever. When you do exercise, these hormones they become more, so they keep you happy. Exercise is very good for your body, for your mental health, for your emotions and everything. So remember that, to do exercise, and also speak positive things to yourself. Speak positive things, especially when you wake up in the morning. I was saying, command your morning. When you wake up in the morning, you command your morning. You speak, even when it's hard. Tell yourself, I can do it today. I am not what I used to be yesterday. Speak positivity over your life. Okay. Do some things that um that will make you happy. Start from somewhere, little by little. So for example, you waking up, doing your bed, you don't do them anymore. Do those little things to keep you going. Now we'll talk about nurturing yourself. Okay. I think nurturing is one of the primary ways to show love to ourselves. Sometimes survivors do take care of other people, but they forget about themselves. You forget about how to take care of yourself. Maybe you weren't loved, encouraged, or comforted as a child. Okay. If you were not shown this love, now you have grown up. Learn to love yourself, even as a survivor. Now, some things were held from you, that you were not allowed to buy things that you love. You were not allowed to do certain, to travel, to do certain things. Begin to do those things. Begin to find out the things that you love. Okay.
Ruthie, one moment, really quickly. I'm sorry. We have a question here that I want to bring up on the screen. Adam U Fitness and Gaming L. He asks, "I want to know: does an abuser get better for the next person, or also are all abusers narcissists?" So I want to answer this question.
Yeah,
Now, I just want to be sure that you all know we are not medical professionals. We are not doctors. We cannot diagnose anyone specifically. We are speaking in general terms. Now, I will not say abusers do not get better
yeah,
because everyone can change.
yeah.
Everyone has the ability to change to become a better person. Just because someone abused someone in the past does not necessarily mean that they will continue abusing other people.
That's that's
Also, not all abusers are narcissistic. And so, Ruthie, would you like to explain what narcissist or
yeah,
narcissistic abuse is?
100%. And I will add to what you said. Abusers, um, people that are abusers can change because some of these abusers do went through abuse themselves. Some of them, it's not like they were born like that. Some of them is the event, the things that happened to them when they were little, and they've not been able to deal with it. So now they think it is normal. It has become normal to them. So it's a cycle. Now, when you like, for example, that's why we educate the community to let people understand that you can be healed. You need to go for help. So some abusers can be healed from being an abuser. Okay, I'm going to talk about narcissistic abuse. It's a form of emotional abuse perpetrated by someone who suffers from narcissism. What is narcissism? It's a personality disorder, is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance. So, should I repeat it? Okay.
Yes.
Narcissism is a personality disorder, is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance. So these people, let me say, I don't know if the word egoistic, they don't care about people. They don't care about your feeling. Okay. Let me give some other points. They always need excessive attention. They want to be admired. Lack of they have lack of empathy.
Yes.
Yes, they don't care. They exaggerate achievements and talent. So things that they have not even achieved, they want to put it out there, show in your face, to intimidate their partner, really. Take advantage of other people to get what they want. They are envious of others and believe others envy them. So they envy other people and things that other people envy, but they are the ones that are really envious. Okay, and the other one have an exaggerated sense of self-importance.
Mm.
Have an exaggerated sense of self-importance. These people don't care about anybody. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, listen, they can go and they can leave you. Somebody was sharing a story, and she was like, when she got pregnant, the man went with the ex, and funny enough, the ex too was Nazi, so they were together. They would come together and bully the pregnant woman. So they don't care about how you feel. It's all about them. It's all about me. They don't care. So these are the narcissistic people.
Yes, and with narcissistic abuse, narcissism, um, that you need a diagnosis for it. We can't just diagnose people and say they're narcissists.
Yeah.
You may see some traits
Mm-hmm.
in people who have narcissistic
Yeah.
behaviors, but we cannot just diagnose someone and say they're a full-blown narcissist without a medical professional diagnosing them.
Yeah.
So that is where the difference is in regards to that type of abuse.
Yeah.
I do see there are quite a few comments and questions coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam was he mentioned here, he was told they only change if they get help. Also, change takes years. So I will not say that it's not concrete. Everyone has their own belief system.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone can see a therapist for years and not get the same help if they go to a church, or if they go to a masjid, or if they go to, go on a spiritual journey and see a shaman. Every person's journey is different. No journey is going to mirror each other. So
No,
we can't stereotype and put everyone into that same box. We have to be careful with that.
that's right.
But we just wanted to make you all aware that narcissistic abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, all of these are together.
Yeah,
They're all under one umbrella, and they're different categories, and they're different ways for people to heal.
that's
For me, counseling was not my way of healing.
that's
Okay.
that's
Every person's healing journey is different. You have to find what works for you.
I think you said it right. You said it right. Everybody's journey is different. We are all different. The way you heal is different from the way somebody heals. The food that you like is not the same food that I may like. So everybody, our mind, our hormones, everything is different. So everybody's journey is different. That's right. Me too. I wasn't healed through counseling. I'm a worshiper, I would say. So my own is just so true prayer, through worship, and also talking to some pastors and other stuff. So everybody's own is different. Some people, they need proper counselors, they need therapists, they need to go through a proper journey for years. So you have to be real to yourself. You have to be real to yourself and know that, okay, this is my journey. I'm not going to do it the same way everybody is doing it. Let me find mine. I go there. And when you are not healed, you don't pretend because a friend is saying that I've been healed. No, you stay there till you go through your healing and you are free. That's what you
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Ruthy, you are so phenomenal, Queen. I am so grateful to have you here. This was amazing. I know we gave our viewers so much information in such a small time, and I want to keep going, but I want to be cautious because you're in the UK. It is almost 2 a.m. where you
Yeah.
are right now. And I can't imagine you're probably tired, but you don't look tired. You look awesome, by the way. Um, but we're going to start closing out. And we just want to thank all of our viewers. Thank you for all of the questions. Thank you for everyone that has joined us to take your time out to learn what we're offering today in regards to domestic violence awareness. This is something that is very important. There are so many men, women, and children that
Yeah.
lose their lives
That's right.
to domestic violence. And just as Ruthie said earlier, someone may be in a situation where they're in a domestic violence situation and they do not want to leave. And so, because they don't want to leave, they may end up harming their children unintentionally. A
Yeah.
lot of children's lives are lost as a result of domestic violence because one of the parents or one of the individuals in those situations did not leave.
Yeah.
So, we have these hotlines here. The UK hotline is coming up across the screen for
Yeah.
domestic violence. We have the United States hotline coming up across the screen for domestic violence. And I want to send it off to you before we close out, Ruthie. Do you have anything else you would like to say? Please tell us where we can find you.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Speak Out Out, okay? Or you can find me on Facebook, Speak Out Out. So do follow there. Or you can go on my website, www.speakoutout.com, and you can message me from there, or you can see all what we do over there. So those are the places that you can find me from. Yes.
All right. So thank you to Ruthie, number one. Thank you so much for being here and staying up with us and, just sharing your wealth of information. And we so appreciate you here at Survivor Not by Chance podcast. Like, subscribe to my channel for more shows that are coming up every Monday night live. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to give a shout out to my producer, Shonda. She is absolutely phenomenal. She makes that make sure that all of my graphics and everything is running smoothly in the background, because it's kind of hard to do all this at the same time. So I just want to send a special thanks to Shonda for always being that support that I need during this journey. And I thank all of our viewers, each and every one of you on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, TikTok, all of my followers. I truly, truly appreciate your support, and I love each and every one of you. Thank you again for joining. Peace and blessings. May you all have a great night.
Thank you for listening to the Survivor Not by Chance podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you to today's guest. We are survivors not by chance. We survive because we fought to survive. Peace and blessings to you all.